The All Smiling Faces podcast is now sponsored by Tyre Spot, the Northeast's leading tyre supplier with branches across the region. Tyre Spot don't just do tyres, they cover everything from servicing to wheel alignment. They can handle every aspect of your car's maintenance. For more information, visit tyrespot.co.uk. Enjoy the episode. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the All Smiling Faces podcast on the GallowgateShots YouTube channel. I am your host yet again, Chris, joined by Bestie, Decker, and Mark. Right, Bestie?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm great.
All right, okay. Bestie was on a pen.
I was just inspecting it. It looked like it slide, but it was a barcode.
Yeah, okay. We are back once again doing a weekly review of Newcastle United, and the game's just gone by. The last game being our final game at St James Park this season. And more Newcastle United, in true typical Newcastle United manner and fashion, we're going to make this hard for ourselves, aren't we?
Well, people like take the easy route in anything in life. But yeah, it was a funny old game. Was the saying, the deepest, darkest do line.
Yeah, well, it's one of them. I think we've had some really good send-offs in the season in recent memory.
Oh yeah,
Arsenal at home, I remember, was one of my favourite games ever. If I'm honest, it was tremendous. And you just the sun's shining.
Last game of the season, 1-1. Bia's flown, lovely, fantastic display, and you just think we're going to win. No, I didn't. I'm just saying the feeling amongst everyone would be.
I think that was. I've listened to a few podcasts today talking about it, and they've pretty much all of them said, two, they've both said that the atmosphere was brilliant. The start really good, and I thought that's not my experience of it. I thought it felt very, very like the job was already done.
Expectant.
Like the songs that were being sung was the Chancellor and Bemba song from the Championship, Peter Love and Crans bits, and I thought this feels like people think that we've already finished sixth.
It actually started probably a good half an hour before kickoff.
Oh, I was
down in the
queuing up to get in. Then
you see in the underneaths of St James's Park in the stands in the concourse that there was a real buzz around the place. There was people singing. It felt like half time because everybody was singing, getting like right into it. And I'm thinking, God, if this carries on out into the stadium, during the game, it's going to be a hell of an atmosphere during it. And see, the flags came out brilliant yet again. I think it got everybody buzzing because probably a good 10 minutes before kickoff, the flags were up. Everybody was going for it, having that buzz around the place.
I was queuing up to get in again. Just the turnstiles being an absolute shower.
I was at work. I left work at quarter.
Trying to swear.
I left at work 1:45, walked up to 4 Lanes Metro. Got on the Metro. I was at the ground, I would say, about 1:30.
Yeah.
And it took us 25 minutes. I got in just about 5 minutes before kickoff.
I got in as like the Premier League anthem was playing. I was going up the stairs. I got my seat, turned around and it kicked off. That's that then. So I missed the whole thing, and maybe that's why my experience of the atmosphere isn't, because I didn't have that concourse thing. I was on a concourse for like all of 10 seconds as I walked across it to go up the stairs. So, but yeah, I thought it felt very celebratory, kind of a bit prematurely. I thought, because it was all the old kind of fun songs and all that. Like it was, and it didn't reflect to me what the situation was at all. Yeah. But mind that, having said that, when it with me, I've always think the atmosphere is at its best when there's a bit of frustration. And as the game went on, I mean, they started time wasting really early on.
There was a lot of frustration.
The referee didn't get a hold of them at all for the whole game, and it didn't take long for that to turn into kind of. And it did. There was one point, I think we might be 1-0 down at this point, where it was so loud that I thought like it could have done some damage. That the noise, it was really, really loud. But on about the concourse, Smithy that I stand next to, he said half time felt like an away game because the concourse was bouncing apparently. Which is good, but yeah, the atmosphere, my experience of it wasn't the same as what I've been listening to and done things.
Yeah, well, I think
today.
obviously you're obviously late getting there. Which
I think that'll be a factor.
I think as well, I've said this so many times, right? That like in these type of games where everything that the occasion is, last game of the season, you're playing against a team that, whether people don't hear it or not will think we will win the game, right? That's what I think a lot of people's opinion was going into the game.
I thought we would have beaten.
No, I think everyone thought that.
Probably beat Villa last weekend as well, mate.
Maybe after 2-3 minutes, we're up against it. Like they were just cutting through. And I feel that when if we're up against a team like Man City or Liverpool, right, and the opposition have a lot of the ball, I find that us, the fans, are more spirited and more like, let's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, together and fight. Whereas when it's against, and this is no disrespect to Brighton, and because it shouldn't be, but when it's Brighton, they're like, well, this is just shit, this is absolute shit. We should be better than this.
The only thing which was really getting the crowd on the feet was the referee performance once again, where the referee's making a funny, well, what we're thinking are dodgy calls, where we're sat on the ground, and you see obviously the noise stemming and create off the back of that. And it's more just jazz and whistles, really. It's not, like Bessie said, more the few chants that were heard in the first half were about ex-players like Chancellor Mbema, you mentioned, Colaccini.
Colaccini had one as well, yeah.
There was quite a few, obviously the Rob Lee one.
It just felt as if it was job done and we're here to enjoy ourselves now.
It's a bit of a fanfare, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, it didn't. And it's weird because I remember, I forget which game, it was Wembley last year, where I remember feeling that the crowd had nothing about it when we were getting beat and getting really frustrated that even if we make all the noise in the world, it might not make a difference. But you don't know unless you make that noise and get behind them. And it didn't. It just felt weird. I didn't. If we had like 4th or 5th or even 6th wrapped up, or let's say 6 points out of Man U and Chelsea, game in hand or whatever, I'd have been right party time. I'd have been exactly right. But it just felt it was a job to do.
Well, the thing for me, and it set the tone of the day for me, and I just wasn't feeling confident after that. Is the first song that the whole concourse started singing was the Europe Again. Ole, and I'm like,
which was meant at the time.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah,
you were singing that at your top of your lungs.
I was, but
hang on while I sing it as loudly as I can.
Not on the concourse at the time of like the first song, because I was like, we need to do the job first.
Yeah.
And I said to Adam when we're standing there, I was like, wow, it's a bit preemptive, that, and it. You just hope, and I still hope, still getting in there. I still think Wednesday we'll go down the road and we'll do what we need to do
Sheffield
down there.
Very good, so
yeah, you do a snorkel of that, mind,
and that'll confirm things.
I think you know what it is, and this is before the ball's even being kicked. When the swap ends, we're swapping ends. And I just thought, no, I hate it. I hate it when we're shooting towards Gallowgate in the first half.
It doesn't bother me at all. You know, it doesn't really fettle me at all. I don't. I've never got that.
The fans have always groaned, haven't they? Like always, whenever it's like a bit of a boo or a groan.
So they all got whistled, and obviously the keeper got booed as he come down.
Yeah, he got some dodgy keepers from.
I'd rather be shooting downhill second half.
Yeah, but it didn't really start off well. Like we said, obviously going to goal down, and we haven't started games well this season. I think we can all agree with that. But apart from the likes of Spurs, as usual.
Well, I just think that, you know, even to a degree, even I think we're really going to come up the traps here. Like that's how I felt it would be. And you've got to credit Brighton as well, by the way. I thought they were, you know, outstanding on the ball at times, on a difficult environment to play in. Like, you know, I mean, it's not easy. Like, you know,
I thought, they really
I thought they were very, very good. And I know the goal itself, it's a disaster. Like, I mean, it's just an awful, awful, awful goal. Like, it's kind of what the old Newcastle would concede. You know,
switching off, isn't it?
Flick on and
it's Anderson for me. He's got to do, like, he just
he must do better.
His
there,
ball watching, spins himself around in a circle, completely loses his man, and then it's just poor, very, very poor.
Felt like it was coming. I felt like it was coming as well. Like, you know,
because had a few success, like just corner after corner. It felt like in the build, similar to what it was the week before, against who did we play the week before?
Burnley,
where they just had corner after corner and conceded once again from those sort of set pieces where it's that back post, which is the issue. And I just, when we went to goal down, I wasn't worried to a certain extent, because I thought we've got plenty of quality here and we've shown an X amount of games so far this season. If we go goal down, even if the performance is shite in the first 20 minutes, the first 45, there's enough talent there that the players can, like Bruno, can by the we
were still creating plenty. Do you remember that game? Like, albeit that we weren't at our best in the first half, we still created plenty of chances. It was just a combination of poor finishing, the final ball.
The final ball was poor.
It falling into the wrong positions when we're cutting back.
Isaac just couldn't get into the game throughout.
Just listening to the pod in the time earlier before I came in there, and they were saying it was Chris Waff said he had
that one this week.
I'm listening to both. That's all right. Chris Waff said Isaac had 14 touches in 68 minutes, so that's basically a touch every 5 minutes, just shy of. and that's not much.
It was obvious, Bessie.
That's not much.
It was obvious. Like,
yeah, you could see he wasn't on the.
It wasn't like he was
either.
hiding either. It was just it just wasn't being played. There was a lot of movement on the left hand side between like sort of Gordon, Hall, and Anderson were working really well together at times.
Yeah, I thought it was quite strange that Gordon seemed to play a bit more central.
He did.
Anderson was the one that was out on the left, and Gordon was kind of in central and picking it up deep as well. It was
a funny one because I remember watching that in the first half, thinking like Anderson doesn't quite look on it to me. I felt as if it wasn't working, and that Gordon was after too many touches in the box. And I was about to say that when we got the equaliser, which was Gordon having too many touches in the box, playing it with Anderson playing it at Longstaff, and obviously in the back of the net. So it felt like we did it an awful lot, but it did work. I mean, if you score a goal from it, it does work. So, but yeah, it felt for me for a lot of up until we scored that it just didn't quite. It didn't click.
I think
I thought Hall played well behind the mind.
Hall was excellent. I thought that the thing that did surprise us was in transition how much better them were than us.
Yeah.
Whereas normally we're the team that'll, in transition, will just be so fierce and away.
Doesn't it?
I felt like Brighton, crikey, there was so many times in the first half that definitely should have scored. And the lad, like almost kind of a diving header.
Yeah, very miles over the top was poor. Yeah,
I mean, my word,
good break that.
One pass again, and they just threw one midfield.
Well, it was the same. It was the same move that they tried time after time after time. The keeper would just send everybody out wide, and then they play a ball into the middle of the park into Welbeck, who would nod it back. They just had the move down to a T. Our midfield was just non-existent.
Well, because they were all getting pulled out.
That was the thing. Yeah, when them had a goal kick, we had 4, maybe even 5 at times on the edge of their box.
Yeah.
Which I get, they're trying to stop it from playing out. But then the lad was just playing one pass down the middle.
It
was 4 or 5
wasn't even lifting off the grass.
I know, yeah, it wasn't.
It was one in the second half. I thought he miskicked it, but it went perfectly. I think Antis was off by that point. But yeah, it was every time was the ball was it Lewis dunk and then back, or sometimes the goal kick was coming inside, and Verbruggen's just going, I'll play it down the middle, no bother, because we're pressing so high that it's just a kind of
avoid
expanse.
Was crying out for Joe Linton long before he came on.
I think the issue was as well is that every single challenge that Kraft decided to go in on, he went in at 100 miles an hour. You just steamrolled into challenges, and the player was just dropping the shoulder and away. And it just seemed like he was fighting, just constantly running back, trying to catch up with the play. And Tino the same, Bestie.
I thought Kraft played pretty well in the second half. I remember noting like how good he was on the ball in the second half.
So first off, I just felt as if he was chasing shadows every single time.
Again, it's very difficult. It's not his position, and to ask someone to play centre half. I mean, you ask Casemiro to do it. He's a £100 million player, whatever. But it's difficult. So it's just a shame, isn't it? Because I think everyone had the thought that would get the job done at home last year. The season would get the 3 because it's just putting extra pressure on the games to come. That the couple we've got left,
especially with how the away form has been this season.
Yeah,
although we won the last away game 4-1, like so.
And I mean this as honest as I can, right? I mean, I think it is funny because it's Man United and everyone takes the piss out of them, and it is hilarious. But for as bad as them have been, they're still right behind me. Like, I mean, they're 3 points off, man, and them have been horrific. Yeah. Right. Let's be very clear. They're still up for us, right? Yeah. And then also, if we finish above them, I think I could be wrong. Yeah, I'm sure I read it somewhere. It'll be the first time in the Premier League era.
First time in a long time since like the 70s or 60s.
Like that's just like, bloody hell. Like,
you know what I mean? First time all our lives, Mark notwithstanding.
So we're just, and I definitely think we're obviously, of course, listen, I believe we can do it, right? Like, but at the same time, I looked at their lineup yesterday against Arsenal. I thought this could be 100-0. This. And to be fair, they were all right. They were quite good. I mean, they didn't create much.
Arsenal weren't at their best, though.
No, they weren't. But look at that. That team is horrific.
Yeah,
I think the bench horrific.
If Isak's fit, if Wilson's got or whatever he's got, if Joe Linton's fit enough to start,
you would think. I
think we'd have enough. But if we draw,
I thought we'd have enough on Saturday.
If we draw with them in Old Trafford, they would need to win. They'd need to turn around the goal difference deficit of around about 26 goals.
I'm not asked about honestly. Man United aren't even in the picture. It's Chelsea.
Oh, Chelsea are the ones to watch out for.
We can't drop any more points.
But then they've got Brighton away, Bournemouth at home.
I think Chelsea will beat everyone.
I think Chelsea could have got beat on Saturday very easily. I wasn't impressed at all.
But they'll find the score goals. Like they'll find a way. I honestly think I think they'll win that. We have to win our last 2 games.
I think that was the issue because, like I said, I think we're all very confident going in that game against Brighton, thinking that you might get a result. You're more confident not getting the 3 points against Brighton. Then you're thinking Arsenal are playing Man U, and I think everybody was in agreement on that one, thinking they're going to get battered. Man U will get absolutely battered. So you're thinking there's 3 points that we're going to push again ahead of them, just that gap a bit further. So we could go into that fixture on Wednesday thinking, well, daylight between we're now. When you're not even looking at the goal difference at that point, absolute daylight. But once again, Mark, it's that issue with Chelsea. And well, actually, Decker, we mentioned it last week when we were doing the look at the run-ins. And Chelsea was the one that we kept on going back to, thinking, forget about Man U. Chelsea's the one who's catching up in momentum.
Man United were, they're not even in the picture. I don't care about them. Chelsea's the one, and I just feel like I don't think we can drop anymore. Now, what would be awful if Man United beat Man City? That'll not happen. But football's a funny game. But that would be the Europa League spot gone as well, and that would be even another.
So if we finish above them,
do you know what I mean? It would be awful, right? But we have to think Man City will take them to task, like you would expect.
You hope so.
We've just got to do what we can do, and I agree with Bessie's point. Is that I would think, given the pace that we have up front, if he's actually fit, able to play, we should have enough. You would think, certainly to cause them problems anyway.
Centre halves. I don't want to kind of jinx it out like that, but when you're looking at Johnny Evans and Casemiro centre half, if that's who the centre halves are Wednesday night, you'd be fairly confident in the pace that Gordon has, that Isak has, in causing a lot of problems. Like,
totally agree. Yeah. Now, I think. Sorry, do you want to ask Mark something there? Sorry.
No, carry on.
I think the final ball was appalling on Saturday. I have to say
that was problematic.
And
frustrating.
I thought Murphy, God almighty, I counted, I think, at least 18 crosses. I think. Just now, there's no one in the middle either. Can I add? Like, I will say that as well, and that could be because Isak's maybe not fully fit. You haven't got a striker to bring on, etc.
Just a combination where we kept the crosses that were going in. We'll put them high into the box. Put them high in the box against Lewis Dunk. You just, he's just going to be nodding it away.
There was one point I think easily. We were cutting it back a lot because it worked at Burnley, and there was a few times that we cut it back. The goal came from a cut back, But there was one where I think Anderson's got the ball right in front of you lads. It would have been in a corner. And he lifts it towards the back post, and everyone's like the close half of the box. So there's no one there. So it's a nice, easy, we'll get rid of that, no bother. And it was just sometimes the decision making, like it's like that. If there's no one there, you can't put the ball there. But there should be someone there, really.
The triangles were working really, really well on the left and right to get to the box and to get to the byline. But like you say, it was that final ball was just the wrong decision, or it was just, rather than being flashed across and seeing if it gets a nick off somebody or somebody can get a touch on it. You were trying to lift it in there. It was just poor.
One of the second half that Tino puts in with the ball, it's really well worked. Get out of him. He basically passes it to the goalkeeper. And there's an expanse of about 10 yards, 12 yards plus space, and it's just straight in the 6-yard box. I think he takes it in his chest. I think that'll do me. No bother. It didn't really. I don't remember really testing. I seem to remember the Bruggen making one really good save, not the one from Longstaff's head as it goes. Although I think I did as well with that one. I had it in my head. There was one in the second half, but I've not seen it in the highlights.
I can't recall
the Longstaff one's a good save, like from the header.
Yeah,
I can't recall where about testing the keeper.
I think that one was one where I don't think Longstaff can do anything more. But that he gets on, he's kind of going away.
Anderson really troubled him at the Leazer's end.
I guess that's another.
I think that might be
where he tries to. Well, I don't know what he. I'll be kind and say maybe slips as he goes to kick it. He just.
I'd probably say in terms of the chance
into the keeper's hands.
Harvey Barnes probably had the best chance opening in the second half when he blazed it over. But other than that, we'll cut it back really well, and he comes onto it well and all.
Yeah, he does.
He blazes it over.
Struggled to get in the game though, Barnes, didn't he?
I thought he was really poor.
Yeah, that chance. We tried, tries to play it across him, but it's just hasn't got any whip on it at all, which isn't.
Even in his booking, he got booked, and at first I thought it was a bit harsh, but when I seen him back, his first touch was atrocious, which then let the ball run, and then he's only trying to win the ball back. I don't think he's trying to hurt the lad.
I think he struggled because everything that we tried to do was going through Miggy. And to be fair, we had a decent bit of luck going down that side. Obviously, we know that we had Gordon got one choked off for offside, which is disappointing.
Closer than I thought as well. There.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, it
was Miggy that was offside, wasn't it?
It was me, yeah. And you may be looking and thinking the position that he's in, can he hold his run, because he's literally looking across the line. So there's a thought there.
I think he kind of does. I think he's asking for the ball a lot earlier than when the ball comes.
I think it's here again.
I think he misjudges. I think he can hold his line better than he does. But he does fantastic to get up there, and he did it time after time after time when he came on. Getting into those positions.
Sticking with Miggy. Why is he taking a dive there, man?
Yeah, it was a silly one. That
he's in the box, man. It's
really bad.
It's so frustrating to see.
Past him, that's the thing. It is frustrating as well.
Totally past him, as you say. It's infuriating for him to go down there. I don't get what's in his head to do that. It isn't Gordon does it where they almost embrace they're almost putting the body there because they know the contact's coming.
Yeah.
To me, that was just a clear dive. Like,
oh yeah,
as you
totally,
say, I mean, what I will say about Mickey when he come on, he looked electric. Like, I'll give him that. He looked very fast. I know he's quick. Probably that thing to say, but he looked very, very fast. And he went past him. He's like he wasn't on the field.
Yeah.
And for him to fall down, it was frustrating. That'll be off now.
It
was really frustrating though because he's in, right. Like it's
And I think, as I say, I think that's why Bonds struggled to get into the game because we weren't going down that side. Obviously, with Gordon moving into the middle, him going out there, and everything would start to have that joy down the right. But it'll be interesting to see whether or not there will be changes on Wednesday, because I think certainly Miggy and Joe Linton made a big improvement when they came into the team.
I think it's I think we've spoken about this for a bit, haven't we? And I used to always laugh. I always laugh at fans when they're like, "Oh, he's back, so he's in the starting 11, and that starting 11 is it." And nothing will ever budge from that 11. The modern games, it's about 14, 15 players because the impact off the bench is so important. And like Murphy's been amazing, right? I'm not knocking Murphy. He's been Burnley. I sat here and said he was tremendous. Like he set up 3 goals or whatever he did. He was fantastic.
He did a great game.
But then you think that we've talked about the lack of pace that Man United have. Miggy being fresh and whatever, he could come in and absolutely cause them real problems. If you had him on the right, and I'm not saying he will start, but there's options there. I did have another point, and I forgot what it was now. Someone else talks, I forgot. Was it good?
I've got a feeling though, come Wednesday, if we go for the Man U game, I've got a feeling how we'll go for the jugular against them. Like, I don't think it'll be a case of sitting, how sometimes we've sat and kind of try to catch teams on a break. I'll talk to them in Villa maybe. I think you'll get at Man U.
So you're talking about changes as well, bringing changes in?
Maybe changes, maybe a bit more pace. I think a lot depends on if Isak's fit, what kind of shape Wilson's in, because Wilson causing bother as well.
Rumours that Fabian might be back as well.
Aye. I mean, Joe Linton, Nick Pope's fit again. Do you bring him in for the last few games? Or do you kind of sit it?
Well, what I was going to say was, this is what the point I was going to make before. We talked last week about Wilson and about the impact he has, and do you really get rid of him, and what can you get for him? Like, can you sell him for 10 million? But what's that going to? You're going to buy another Wilson for 10 million.
Yeah,
it's him not playing again, not being able to play. It just proves how we don't have another option off the bench.
Yeah,
we cannot. As much as I know, I'm going back on my own word in a way. Like, we just cannot keep. But when he's back, he scores, because like Saturday was so important. If we had Wilson to come on the field, we might have won that 2-1. He hasn't played well, but he might have scored.
He gets goals in back-to-back games, and you think, oh, mint. Like, he's coming in again. Yeah. He's just hitting form. Then he's not even featuring on the bench.
I know. It's you can't have that. You can't have it. And then you're already playing one striker who's not fully fit, and then you haven't got one to bring on.
I think there's a bit of confusion in the ground, Mark, wasn't there, when Isak went off, because people are thinking, what, like, he's the one that could probably, even though he hasn't had a great start, that he's the one that could probably get that one chance and score it.
Yeah.
But obviously we found out now he did have an illness during the week as well.
Even he seems surprised to go off.
I
when they brought his number up, I was looking at talking to Smith, saying 14 Isak, I thought, that can't be right. I was looking at the pitch, and Isak's like looking the wrong way. He's not expecting to go off at all. So
yeah. I was the same, and I was really confused. Then obviously we'll go back to how Gordon pushes up top, and go back to that. And Gordon is, yes, he can do a job there, but nothing really happened after that move, Mark.
Well, I don't know. He had the ball in the back of the net.
Offside.
But no, I think he's probably looked at it and thought he's had half an eye on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
The fact that we've got two important games coming up.
Both away as well.
Yeah, so it was a frustrating afternoon for him. Take him out of the, out of the team for that. Let's change something up.
It's a good point.
Have a think.
It's a good point, because I know my reaction was, God, what are you bringing him up for? Even though he's had a poor game. I don't want to say a poor game. It wasn't working for him, right?
Yeah,
it was quiet. It just wasn't working for him, right?
But you weren't even getting the normal things that when he is somewhat isolated, you normally get him coming and dropping deep and trying to get involved and coming in that, like, say, that number 10 role and getting in there. And particularly when they were always kind of flooding it out and leaving that space in the midfield. We didn't attempt to exploit that at all.
Maybe that's because he's not fully fit. He's not able to do. Now I know it also just drop out a bit, mate, and pick the ball up. Like, it seems easy, but if he's not fully fit, he's not able to do it. I thought, maybe thinking of it now, is that why the played Gordon more central, because maybe Isak's not able to do. I don't know. I'm just literally just popping my head.
Well, that's happened because Gordon was much more.
And I'm saying, is he doing that because Isak can't do the role that we would expect him to do because if he's not fully fit? But it's the point I'm trying to make. Sorry, is like, yes, you would think, even though he hasn't had a great game, if there's a chance he will score, right? That's what you would think.
Thought so, yeah.
But then maybe Eddie's thinking, but if I leave him on and he doesn't, I then can't play him at all on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I want him for Wednesday. So it's the fine lines of management, right? It's
Wednesday's the more important game to win. If you had to choose,
it's a tough one when it's 1-1 though, and you're at home with 20 minutes to go.
Yeah. But if he thinks,
it's a good chance.
If I was thinking, well, if we draw this, then we'll Man U, Arsenal can win that one. If we can go and beat Man United at Old Trafford, that totally knocks them out of the picture. It's 3 points more for us. Gives us that advantage over Chelsea again. Slight though would be on goal difference in anything. Well, so I think that would probably might have come into mistake. And certainly looking back on it now, if keeping Isaac, and you can't tell these things on a Saturday because it's the future. But if giving Isaac that 20-minute rest, half an hour rest, it's on Saturday, makes him fresh enough. He pops up on Wednesday and gets what you think. It's worthwhile. That was the right thing to do. But it was frustrating. I thought Brighton kind of nullified what we did really well. There was a few times we got through and got more or less within the 6-yard box, and it felt like Tarek Lamptey were just coming and taking off someone's toe end, or they were getting blocks in before we were getting the shots away and stuff. They dealt with it really well, I thought. When the ball was in play,
they were brilliant. I forgot his name, right, and I'll let Mark destroy the name. He was. That's
not what he was called.
Number 10, then Cecil, the
him. Yeah. We couldn't get near him for most.
Yeah, he was excellent.
He was
young lad, 20-year-old.
He also got a book for diving as well.
He must be a Paraguayan thing. Yeah,
he did he was excellent. We really struggled to pick him up. I thought the midfield struggled all game. If I'm being really honest.
Yeah.
I thought
Bruno holding on the ball a little bit too long at times.
But he does it all the time. And I've said for a while that there's certain opposition may sit off him because they're trying to be compact and hard to beat. And the great Bruno will shine in them games.
Yeah.
And Bruno is unbelievable, by the way. And I'm not saying against him. But when you've got the likes of a Brighton team who will hurry you up when you're on the ball, like I agree. Sometimes he hangs on to it, and he's confident on the ball, which is great.
He's away though, isn't he? So
I'm going to get on that. If anybody does have any questions, send them through as quick as possible, and we'll go through as many as we want. Bestie, I'll come to you because you mentioned it. We noticed this straight away, me and Mark, when we saw Bruno just as soon as full time goes, he just sits on the deck and gets very emotional, as Bruno does.
Yeah.
We've seen it so many times since he's arrived. But on social media, it means that Bruno is now leaving Newcastle United because he was full of emotion at full time. His last game at St. James's Park.
He's always at it. Maybe he is going to go. I don't know, but I wouldn't read into what happened on Saturday afternoon as being confirmation that he's definitely gone. Like, I don't think he wants to win football matches, doesn't he?
It means now he cried when he missed a penalty, man, and we still got through.
Aye. Bless him in that squad photo.
It's a funny one because, listen, don't get us wrong. It's not nice to see him like that. I don't want him to be sitting upset that they haven't won and all the rest of it. But at the same token, though, right? They're then doing the same person whoever's tweeting that saying, "Oh, could be off. Yeah, he looks really upset and all that." He's laughing and carrying on when the Gallowgate shot with all the family and stuff. He's laughing in that.
Yeah.
Didn't share that one and go, "Oh, he's definitely staying now." Then you know what I mean? Like it's ridiculous.
I wouldn't read anything into it.
Absolutely.
If he, I'm not saying that he's not going to go, like, because you don't know these things, but I don't think him sitting on the pitch for a couple of minutes reflecting
that wasn't a sign
at the end of a game is kind of he's definitely gone.
Well, let's be very realistic, right? Like if we had won that game, you would have been celebrating and all the rest of it, right?
Yeah.
Like, and people go, "He's got nailed.
He's one of ours."
Was it only 2 weeks ago when he's holding the corner flag up and tapping the badge?
Yeah.
Right? But then because we've drawn, he sat on the floor for a few minutes and he's leaving now. It's insane. Honestly, it boggles my mind. Boggles my mind.
I think we've mentioned it so many times throughout this season where probably the four of us don't really go on Twitter as much as what we once used to. But you do click on it after a game because I quite like it. I laugh to see what's being said. And the first thing was Bruno leaving. I was like, I can't do this. Straight back off.
What I've got to say though about that situation is, again, hats off to Trippier, because he sees him sat down there and he's straight over having a word with him, pulls him up off the ground and gives him a bit of a pep talk.
Ironically, one of the lads was saying on Saturday that could have been Trippier's farewell.
Yeah, you never know.
Because
you never know.
Come on for his 10 minutes, whatever it was towards the end there, and I'd like to keep him, but like, remember when Bayern came in January we were saying for 12-15 million pounds, you'd probably
you would flirt.
And we've got. I mean, I thought it was actually one of Tino's poorer games on Saturday, as it goes. Like, but I think we've got. I'm not saying we've got a Trippier replacements because he's not. We've said before, he's more than just a position on the football pitch. What he brings to the club elsewhere. But I think we've got quality in that area that we could move on.
Well, I've seen rumours that Harrison Ashby might be up for leaving in the summer, even though we just signed him as almost that understudy as well.
He's been a couple of years now. Swansea on loan,
unless I'm being really thick here, But if something happened to Tino, it's Kraft moving across, right? And that's how.
Because Mankio's gone now, and Mankio went.
So then, to me, I don't feel that it's okay. Like,
unless Ashby, well, I don't know what kind of player Ashby is.
But then I don't think. How long can you have Tino as your second choice on that trip? So I can get another season out of it.
I think that would be pretty much the limit. That Tino would be happy to kind of. He'd be happy to learn from Trip.
I mean, he's 34
wrong.
on each trips. He's 34, like, and he may not be able to play every game as much as he probably would like to, or think he could. I just want to, and I'm going to go the other side of the field here. I thought Hall played really well, and I just want to shout because he's my mate, and I'll stick up for him now all the time because he got
Hall did play really well. Yeah, he was excellent. He was really good.
His pass to start the goal off was tremendous. I'm telling you, that pass there, right? Keegan again, yeah, I'm telling you. Now I don't want to knock players. But Paul Dummett, for example, or Byrne, for example, no offense.
Full kit Paul Dummett.
If then we're in that position, I've seen them in that position a billion times, and would have a little glance and then come back inside. And that was it was a good pass, it was a brave one as well.
Yeah.
So if that gets intercepted, he's going to have 50,000 fans wanting his bloodline. I'm telling you, right? That was a really, really, really good pass. It was to start. And I know Anderson and Gordon are getting the credit. And that's fine. But I think Hall deserves it for that actual initial pass.
I think Hall's looking more like the player that you see, like that Mark in particular. It's not when we signed him says, "Oh, he's going to be this kid's brilliant." Like I didn't say it for a long time, but now he has had a good run. From Man City in the cup onwards, he hasn't really put a foot wrong, or maybe he has, but he's been far better than he had been at the start of the season. Like.
You see, he certainly flourishes when we have more of the ball, right? Because he's so confident on the ball.
Big style.
It might be a different story when you've got an opposition that have more of the ball than us. And I think Howe's been working on him positionally because he's still young, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, he's still 19, he's still a teenager, isn't he?
Yeah, on the ball, though, like, he's so comfortable, man.
Like, it's ironic that he's played all his football since he got made permanent. Because you know how there was talk earlier in the season about, so many games that we've got to play. And it turned out we had to finish 14th or higher. And as soon as that happened, he's played every game since.
I'd be in. We'll never know, right? But if Botman hadn't getting hurt, I'm not sure I would have ever seen him. No. I still think Byrne would have been
if
out
Botman,
left and
Shea, Lascelles were still fit.
I think Byrne having to shift into the centre half is then.
I think Dan Byrne's been much better back in his natural position than
100%. We'll see this every week.
He's national
ignorance, but
he's national. Come on, Mark, get it out.
Natural position.
I'm going to take things slightly off course here, and it's still about Newcastle, but it's at the end of the game. Obviously, we stayed for the lap of appreciation, which they call it these days, where the players.
Can I just say, how long did it bloody well take them to do that lap?
That's what I was saying.
Nearly as long as it took to announce it.
It was ridiculous.
It didn't look very well organised compared to what it looked.
It was just it was quite shallow as well. It was just a lap. They just went round the centre circle.
It's like it's as if like we had just missed out on some sort of qualification, and the lads were good. It just didn't feel upbeat. It felt quite flat.
I don't know. It did. I thought it was all right. I remember.
Well, normally it gets out of our corner, basically. You have chance for each player that comes past.
Yeah.
There was nothing like that. You had Eddie Howe, and that was it.
I just want to get the pub. You know,
Callum Wilson wasn't anywhere to be seen. I didn't see him anywhere.
Well, they're probably worrying because he got injured walking around the pitch.
Probably.
Just sit down.
We were shocked that Tonali wasn't there as well.
Betting
the boogies.
Dummett was definitely there in his full kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on the bench though, in fairness.
I know, but why did he take his training gear off?
Hot.
It was Rose not going to get a nice tan.
You want to get his photo, man.
Robert again, that might have been his last.
100%. That's his last.
He's getting a couple of photos with Longstaff, and then with that, I didn't see what it was.
You know what really annoyed us? Loads of fans, soon as full time comes off.
Yeah, it's off.
Loads, thousands.
Even before,
even the goal, man, the equaliser. Hardly anybody left in the stands, man.
Yeah,
because everybody went for a pint at 37 minutes.
The Gallowgate picture at the end, like there's just so many fans not there. Like it's. Honestly, I swear to God, like I just feel their moments will get worse. Like unless something amazing happens next season, but if we finish 5th or 6th next season, there'll be even less there next year, man. Like I'm sorry, but it's just I don't know why, but it's still been a good season, man. It's been I don't understand why you'd want to walk out and go, shite.
But what I don't understand is when we win a game and we do the same thing, we walk around the pitch, the stands are still full.
It's because you've won a game.
Come to the last game of the season, where it's, historically that's where you would do that kind of thing. They want to thank you for your support during the season. You want to thank them for the performances that they've gave you at home. Because in the main, we've done very well at home. We've scored a hell of a lot of goals.
Scored in every league match.
We've scored in every game.
Yeah.
Bar Dortmund.
Mm-hmm. Which is why we're winning Dortmund Hoodie tonight, I see.
Kind of. So it just... and look, it annoys me anyway. People not supporting the team, not staying, not appreciating it, and stuff like that. But if you're not going to do it on the last game of the season, why do you bother going?
Aye, and it's not like it was a late game. It was a 5 o'clock finish. You know, it was a Saturday 3 o'clock.
Sun was shining. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in a rush to get away at the end of the game, but I still stayed.
I was gasping for a scoop, but I was the same. I hung around until I think I left. Actually, I think it was just after me getting out.
You were a few steps in front of her. I saw you walking down the stairs. I don't know. It was really frustrating. It was a frustrating end.
I think that sums up the day as a whole. It was a very frustrating performance because we created lots of stuff, but the final ball was poor, or they defended it well, or we couldn't find the right pass. They frustrated by hanging on the ball, going down at every opportunity. It was very much like how we used to frustrate opposition.
Yeah, it was.
You know, the season before.
They had a fella go down with cramp in the first half, and I thought, Christ, I wouldn't go down with cramp in the first half.
You would.
I would have been playing. That's why, like, I had a stitch. I had a Greg sandwich before I got the game.
I did find it was getting funny where their player went down, and he was indicating straight away before he even sat down on the floor that he was injured.
Yeah.
Across to the bench, and he went down, and everybody started going ballistic. Boo! Cheat! I went, the lad's injured. He's literally signaled across to the bench, and everybody's
walking around
giving
the back
him
of
loads
the goal
of stuff.
with the physio as he's going up, and people are still
Get
trying
up
to
still.
cheat at him.
There's probably still people giving Tyrone Mings a hard time. He's not played since he went down the first game of the season. If I can share with you an observation that I made on Saturday after the game, it wasn't necessarily anything to do with the game itself.
Okay.
But how
like you best.
I walked down. No, very very got the character this one. I was walking down. I had a couple of pints in Tilly's afterwards, so I was walking down like Stowell Street, and then that little cut that goes down to Westgate Road, and you couldn't move for this season's shirt. The Castor, there was
a lot of black and white.
And I was thinking, I bet you come Christmas, there's not a single Castor shirt left in the crowd because everyone will be. The club shop will be.
Speaking of that, I saw some absolute blinder fake concept kits.
I saw one today.
But I think the one which you saw, you put a message in it, is obviously going to be similar to the one which we're getting.
It's the one that got shared with the kind of grey stripes on the shoulder. Right. It had stripes on the back as well, which made us think.
Mate, there was some absolute corkers at the weekend.
There was some that I've never even seen before.
I saw a belt
people were wearing. I'm like, where you've got that from?
I saw a belt. I forget when it was. Maybe yesterday, but I didn't get a good look at the front. But you could see what it was. I had the Premier League badge, black and white. But it was just, again, it was just like some weird, like he'd drawn it himself and 3D printed it.
Yeah, like a kid had just.
But it wasn't the same bloke. Possibly. Was he sitting up to the stairs?
Oh, I forget if it was actually in the ground or not. Right. I remember seeing the shirt. It must be in the city afterwards because I had a few beers. So, but that was wild.
It was nice to see though that so many people in black and white stripes.
That's on for 20 minutes.
It's nice when the weather's nice because, like, no offense, everyone can sit there and
they're not breathable. Those ones that thick plastic shirts. Like, there'd have been some sweating going on Saturday afternoon. I tell you.
Jagger, you've been to the club shop today.
Again.
Again. Jack has been in the club shop. There's no left.
And I went to the Metal Centre one now.
There's no left. Double dipping, right?
Yeah. The one at the stadium's got literally nothing now. Like, it's very, very poor. They've got loads of shirts. Like, don't get us wrong, like the home and away ones and stuff, and the green one. But
are they selling the sponsorless ones?
No, there was none of them.
I think they were just online. Then
do they have a full size selection, or is it just?
Small, if I'm being honest, I didn't, because I've got them anyway. I didn't actually walk over. But the other side is just the hasn't most hasn't got the Castor logo on. It's just a t-shirt with our badge on, the Newcastle badge. Very poor, like, but it's understandable because they're closing now. I get it. They've been rinsed.
So those ones without Castor on look like market buys.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Now in the Metal Centre shop though, there was still quite a lot of stuff, and I nearly bought some, but I put it back because I was like,
well, that's an actual Castor shop though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
first and foremost. But it's only a Castor shop, but I think it sells exclusively Newcastle stuff.
Yeah, there's not a single Castor item in there. It's all Newcastle.
Oh, that's like golf stuff in there.
No. This is Newcastle.
Whereas the club shop always had the Castor section, didn't it?
That's correct.
The front window, they had
the one in the other shop in Newcastle, which was next to Monument.
Yes,
that was a Castor shop.
So yes, that's Gear in it.
Next to Jamie Elvis thing.
Yes,
remember when the club shop was there?
Closed down now, isn't it?
When the club shop was on Monument Mall, that was amazing.
Absolutely loved it.
Bring that back.
Loved it. Yeah. But there was some nice stuff in the Metal Centre one, to be fair. But again, I tried something and I was like, I want to buy, but then I thought, I was telling the lads before we started, just now when Adidas come out, I'll buy the same top really.
Yeah, but
just with the stripes in it. Do you know what I mean? And I'll never wear that one again. So
Scott put a thing, and I watched that through over the weekend, maybe today, actually saying that Castle now own Umbro, have the rights to do Umbro stuff. And it seems like such a missed opportunity. They think we had some lush Umbro kits in the late 80s, early 90s that they could have reproduced. I mean, I don't know exactly how licensing works. But you see clubs do it. Like,
but they might only just done it now and they've left.
They could still, for me, if the
but if the deal's only literally just happened, like
he said it was after. Scott said it was after the Adidas deal was announced, and that was September.
I believe in Scott Howe.
Well, he's a lot of things, but he's not a liar.
Scott gave with 4 or 5 different dates. The pit strip was getting announced last week.
Oh, I didn't know that, but
I don't think they'll have the time though. Do you know what I mean? Like, fair enough, they've took over Umbro, but if they've only got a handful of weeks or months left for us,
I'm just better about it. I really,
we're amazing.
I would have Castle for one more year if it meant getting the old drill top back when I was a kid. The black one with the grape sleeves.
The shell jacket, I had the shell jacket with it, like behind the diamond.
Great, them other ones.
Beautiful, that one.
I got my 10th birthday. I got a tracky top, went to see Crowded House at the City Hall on my 10th birthday. And I had like a tracksuit with blue bits, but it looked like kind of black and white broken glass almost on the
The pop-up shop, that's obviously really taking shape now. They've put the stairs on and the shutters on and everything today. Yeah. They were putting them on. So
is that on 29th?
Yeah, it is. This month,
good 2.5 weeks.
I was thinking, I wonder if, because you see, certainly when you go to a lot of away games, they tend to have like those pop-up temporary like match day kind of stores as well. I wonder whether that'll stay open on match days when they've redone the actual club shop out as well, just because there's always massive queues to get into there. And
I kind of felt as though it would have made sense to have something in the stack that they're building down in Strawberry Place.
I think they will.
So that would probably be that if that's what they do, because it's just up the hill, isn't it?
Do you know what the video I need to try and say was about something else and a much more important thing than I'm going to say. But that Wolves video, I think.
So the lad that blindfolds himself,
it
with
was
scarf outside the ground.
It was amazing, right? But I just want to reference something off the video that I seen. Them had like and not just them, like a little stall behind them where they were selling scarves and stuff like that and badges and stuff like that. We have nothing like that, do we?
No, I don't know if any of the concourses do.
I don't understand why that is.
I don't know.
Bootlegs ones knocking around.
Yeah,
there's always a badge down
ones
outside the club.
Yeah,
Irish club.
But you don't get official merchandise. But all it is like a burger van-esque sort of van.
That's what I mean.
Wembley have got.
Pop it up and
got
toy them out.
Kind of thing.
Well, I remember when I went to Man United away before, and I suppose it's Man United, like, but the streets. I mean, it was just row after row after row after row of selling scarves and all that type of shit, right?
But
we have nothing like that.
Well, we've got a bloke at the top of Stowell Street with pin badges outside the Irish Centre normally. That's about it.
Yeah,
but there's like the club shop. I've occasionally wandered into the club shop on a match day if I've got like 10 minutes to kill, and it's just you've got to go there like an hour before kick-off because the queue just winds right the way around the whole, like the perimeter of the place, more or less.
Yeah. But
so it would make sense. Oh no, but it would make sense.
Right?
Like, say if you've got a little stall or the cellar thing like a building outside the Strawberry or in the stack or even.
But then, I'm not even saying it has to be official gear, by the way.
There's the little shop next to the Labour Club as well.
I'll tell you what I was like.
Yeah, fair enough.
Right, so my wish list, I've got black and white seats, obviously. It's long standing one, black and white nets. 100%. And being able to buy a program with contactless.
No, they should just do what I said last season about the programs. Let you put it on top of your season ticket and it gets delivered.
I seen the cost. It costs.
You can do a subscription, can't you?
You can, but it costs a fortune.
Yeah.
You pay delivery on every one separately. So it costs, each program costs like £7 or £8.
You just have contactless at the store.
Yeah.
That's all you
need.
Or like sell them in the club shop.
Aye.
Yeah. I don't think it's do them in the club shop, do they?
Remember they used to sell them in like the
remember the old the one at the Monument? Not Monument, the Haymarket, the little porter cabin one.
Yeah.
They used to sell
just outside where the Greggs is a Monument now. There used to be little news agents. It might even be the same building where you go and they used to do the match day programs. I used to get them from there.
Even the news agents used to sell them.
The
pink.
Apparently, used to get them.
No, all news agents. Not just that
pink.
News agent.
Oh, the pink, man, the pink on the.
So it was mad, right? When you think of it back in the day, right? And it's sad, like, but I remember I used to work in the bar. I used to run over and I used to run to the news agents to get the pink because I didn't realize. I was thinking, I don't know if we went 1 point ahead of them or not 1 point ahead, but like, what's the goal difference like?
Yeah,
how easy it is to get it. I had to wait like 5:30 so I could see the league.
Well, that's why the pink went, wasn't it? Because everyone's got. But I used to go. Remember, it's just a very bestie in deck. I won this because it's about Stanhope Road and Shields. The one, the Bolden Lane side of Stanhope Road where they've got the shops and they've got the chippy. You've got the news agency. They used to be called Charlton.
Second-hand Rose.
I used to
I used to work at Charlton's.
Yeah. You probably served me with a pink a few times on Saturday.
You're older than me, mate. So I wouldn't have been serving you anything.
No, it's got pink action guy. But I used to go meet me pink a fuse.
I used to get at Mills, Mills, which is the other side of Stanhope
Mills,
Road.
yeah, it's got shop Mills.
I used to run across the road, go out there, normally get a kebab buddy, and then go
Mills was a good shop, like guy.
I used to the pink was class, like because the beginning of the season they used to do like a player in the middle, like like a big sort of.
That was every week he used to get one.
My first ever posters, I had a Chris Waddle one in the team photo from it was when the year they went down, I think 97, 98. Sorry, 88, 89. 88, yeah. Because I had all the kids in the front row, like David Roach and all them, sitting in the yellow and green striped shirts, but the white socks, and I was always like, why white socks?
Why white socks?
Oh, yellow.
I loved that kit. That was the stripy one.
Oh, God.
The pinstripe.
It was.
Is this something we're adding to a list as well? So, Bestie, you want black and white nets,
yes,
black and white seats.
Yes.
I'm going to put the font in on Newcastle United as well.
Oh, yes, I want that.
We want that changed.
I want that back. I don't suppose that anymore.
We'll want some sort of stall or pop-up stall or some burger van selling official Newcastle merchandise, which is like of scarves. What else can you have?
Scarves, pin badges, maybe
bucket hats.
Well, that's where that doesn't have to be official. I will see this again.
Ooh, I want an official one. I didn't want.
I'd like an official
lorry
stuff.
Because if you do that, then you're going to get half and half scarves.
Well, they get them anyway. They're not going to. That's not going to change.
Come to them for the Champions League.
They did no for the Europa, didn't they?
Europa League,
like a few years.
Oh yeah,
I don't think they did it for the Champions League.
I don't mind if a local some guy, bless him, knocks things up in his own house and then wants to come and try and make money. I'm all for that.
I don't think that'll
put
happen.
More money in their pockets.
Well, that's why the shop next to the Labour Club opened, because he's just started selling scarves.
Yeah,
and then he opened up a shop.
And then you've got the black and white. Not black and white. They call the back page as
yeah.
well. They've got a couple of them that'll do that kind of thing. But it's
do you want to know something interesting? I have never been in the back page.
It's all right.
The
one in Metro Centre.
I'll be in the Metro Centre. I want to lie. I'll be in the Metro. No, be in the one in town.
Just the same, obviously. But it started in the town. That's why
I felt a bit sad when I put the Saudi flag in the window. That kind of left a bit of a taste for me. That
I've seen that. I meant to like it.
On that
yes, fair enough.
That was very good.
Shall we go through the questions?
Aye.
So the first question is from Sir Monkey Suit. That's his question. If Newcastle were in Tottenham's position and the Mackems were needing us to beat City to win the league, would you want us to lose even though we'd miss out on Champions League?
This is the one I saw earlier, and I still don't know.
Tough one.
This was the one that Ange was asked today, wasn't it? It's basically
Ange was right. I mean, Ange was right, but not in my opinion. To me, no chance. No, your dad get humped. No problem at all.
So
I celebrate every goal that way.
If it was like for like,
beating off Sunderland.
100%.
Right, okay.
No, again, Sunderland. I take it beating off.
So Sunderland.
Yes. I don't want them to win the league.
No, I think I'm the opposite, because Tottenham can go ahead of Villa and finish fourth and get a Champions League next season. So I don't really care about Sunderland winning the league.
I think I'd be looking at our own position, I
think I'd want us to finish as high as we could, because then I think I'd rather us do the business, and whatever happens.
It's just the sacrifice. I don't think we could win the Champions League. So I'll be like, okay, right, then win the league. We qualify for the Champions League. Get knocked out anyway.
Fortunately, it's not a conundrum that we're ever going to be faced with.
No, but I'm just hypothetically saying, like, if I was a Tottenham fan, right, I would say that's exactly what I'd be thinking. If we qualify for the Champions League, then win the league, and then obviously qualify for the Champions League anyway, and we do getting out of the group stage,
get them in the final, win them in the final.
Yeah, but they're never going to get that far. So that's a defeated attitude. But there's no chance that I want to be winning. Like,
if you're all watching live, let us know what you want.
I think this is the big brother and the small brother kind of thing of like, because I think if it was the other way around and it was Sunderland and us trying to win the league, they'd 100% want us not to win the league, fold, because it's the smaller club. Spurs are the smaller club to Arsenal. Sunderland are the smaller club to Newcastle.
Because Indeka's got a small club mentality.
He follows all the small clubs.
Tiger Woods, James Bond, he hates a little boy like
Tiger's a big boy. But no, I hate the Yankees.
PSG.
The Patriots, Arsenal.
It is awful.
That's Cowboys.
The Arsenal.
The Arsenal, sorry, yes, beg pardon.
Like, your direct result can influence whether or not your direct hated rival wins the league or not.
Well, I said
it would take away the pain, wouldn't it? If you did lose, at least you think, oh well, it means they cannot win the.
I mean, if we were like 14th,
it lessens the pain.
But then might not qualify for Champions League even if they beat them. So you imagine you stopped Man City
from. If they lose, that almost certainly not qualify for Champions League. So I'd rather.
But then they're not going to qualify. So what I'm trying to say though, so if they say they beat Man City, them or draw against them, right? That keeps their Champions League dream alive, and it ends. Could possibly. Well, it will end Man City's title, because I would imagine Arsenal will be.
You think, yeah.
And then they didn't get Champions League. So you're managing, you've let them win the league and you haven't even gotten the goal you wanted to get. It would just be that would be even worse.
That's what we would do.
I would still much rather just my team took care of what they had to do, and whatever else happened.
I would celebrate goals going in against them. 100%, like 100%.
Next question. Let's see if we've got any more. Once again, if you do have any questions, send them across.
Is it mad how it's harder to buy stuff from the club now than it used to be like 20, 30 years ago?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
We're talking about like there's a club shop now.
Okay.
And you used to have like 1 or 2 in the Metro Centre, a couple of Ellen Square, one in the Green Market, beg pardon. Monument Mall we mentioned earlier. And it's now you've got that one club shop, and it's like to get a hold of stuff, you've either got to order from Castle, which takes like a month to get you, and it's probably going to be spelt wrong and stuff like that. Or you've just got to go to the club shop, like, and it's just harder to get stuff now than it was.
It's the rates of the shops, isn't it? And it's sad, like, because you've got loads of shops that are boarded up or haven't got anything in. You think, I'm not saying us because we've got money and stuff, but I'd much rather see a local business have an opportunity to open one of them shops that's boarded up.
Yeah,
it's some kind of, I'm not saying free because then other shops will kick off, but I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Come to some kind of nicer agreement. Look at fucking King Street, right? For example, here.
Yeah, it's toast.
Come on, there's got to be something that you can do to like get shops full again by not charging.
I think it's because of the landlords. Because I was told,
it
was a council, and one of the lads that works at my place, Davey, he had a shop on King Street briefly, and he said it's not the council, it's the landlords, it's the people who own the.
Yeah,
it's based in London, a lot of them, I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
And they just want more and more.
Yeah,
I think
them out.
They're waiting for them to basically be empty for long enough for them to count will turn around saying we're going to flatten the place. Then they get money for
the
but then because they're building the college down there now, I think it will invigorate.
I would love to have more than just the stadium. Well, of course I would, because like more than the one option. I mean, the Metro Centre is what it is, but that'll be gone soon enough anyway.
You'd imagine I
don't think your dinner breaks long enough.
Oh, it is. It is. I'll go on. No
clocking out and going to the Chester Street Club Shop or something like that.
No problem at all. Yeah, 100%.
Where would you like to see a club shop then? Prime location.
The way you said, mate, to be fair, which is gone. But
Barkerstone House.
Barkerstone House, yeah. I think on the corner would have been tremendous. Like, honestly, that would have been a mega store, that one.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not really sure, really, because I think I'm too old school mentality. Because when you mentioned Jamie Oliver's, which was Monument Mall, that was mint, man.
That was
I loved it.
Shop, that, like, right
it's never going to be there again.
You come off the Metro Court,
up there, yeah. Amazing. Man.
Was that on 2 floors?
Yeah,
it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Quite an awkward shaped shop.
It was, yeah.
A little bit, not as awkward as the Eldon Square one that went over the bridge.
Yes, I met good eras in that shop, and it was very strange, that shop, actually. Yeah,
because there was very little downstairs, and you go upstairs, it was like a long, narrow affair.
That's right. Yeah,
it's surprising there's not one on Northumberland Street though.
You know what it is, and this is for me is why none of that will happen is because 6 days out of 7 every week the shop will be dead.
They just take a run around by
match day, 100% match day. Club shop is rammed. Every other day of the week they probably have 20 people through the door.
I think
but that's why you should. That's why you.
Whenever I go in through the week, sorry, Decker.
No, that's right.
Whenever I go in, and it's not often really, but whenever I do go in, there's always enough, at least 4 or 5 people here at the same time as me.
And I'm one of them 4 or 5.
Yeah, but they work there.
But no, when you think like, see, if you spend
every time I go in the
quarter of an hour in a shop, and there's 4 or 5 people in there. That's 20 people an hour. That's a couple hundred people a bit. It's more.
So what would you? This is what my thought always was on this. Right? Is you've got your mega store at the stadium. I wouldn't probably have that open Monday to Friday. If I'm being honest, I would have that ready for a match day only. But I would then have, for example, the old Sports Direct that's in Northumberland Street. It's not Sports Direct anymore because they've moved into H&M, right?
Have they?
Aye. So I would buy that one next to TK Maxx and make that the Adidas Newcastle shop. The footfall you're getting just for being on Northumberland Street is so much more vaster than what the stadium would be Monday to Friday.
So it's actually part of HMV, or is it?
No. H&M. You know where H&M used to be?
H&M. I was in HMV
next to where Flannels is
on the corner. Yeah,
they moved across the road.
So they moved across the road. Yeah. So that building there is it will be something. I don't know what, of course. It's getting some work done on it. But I would make that the club shop and have that to be your full time one. Yeah. And then on a match day, open up the one at the stadium because you're not, as Mark's rightly said, you've got 50,000 people down, right?
Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm saying on a match day, it would make sense for them to keep the temporary one that they're building and just open that up to alleviate some of the pressure.
I think the only issue, if you're looking at logistics wise, people that are going, because there'll be a lot of people that do stadium tours on a weekly basis that they're coming out, then they'll be true. Fuck, I'm going to go in Northumberland Street.
And you're
get a pop-up one.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, though, because when I go every day, I work at home most of the time, by the way, but whenever I go to Newcastle, I will go in every day, every time I go. And there's always people with the lanyard, like with the tour on, so they've obviously just finished and they've come straight in.
Do you reckon they know you? Do you reckon they talk about you in the club shop?
100%.
That's a fucking weirdo again.
again.
He's going to try them jackets on again.
I'd be stunned
But
if they
they
did.
know everybody that goes because there's only 20 a day go in.
Shut up. I reckon they know you, you know.
Well, I think
you've got a nickname and everything.
I'm arguably in there more than their staff, like, so they'll know us. Like, they must say he's going, well, Wanker Dean again.
What are you going to call him?
I don't know.
Him.
I don't know.
Shop nonce. I don't know.
Shop nonce. Everybody's going to start calling you shop nonce from now on. You've just set yourself up there.
I wonder if
You've definitely got a nickname.
Hey, it's fine. I'll take it, my boy. The thing is, though, as well, I'm not just like a window. I don't just go in and, well, I do something. I do buy a lot. You know, I buy nearly every time I go in. This is why when Adidas opens, I'm in huge trouble. Like, huge trouble, because I literally spend
the overtime in.
Yeah, my ass will not be happy. Like, because it's funny, every time I go to work, I'll always buy something, right? And I'll always come in the and she's like, no, the new coat is it, or top or whatever, you know. And Adidas it'll take us to the cleaners, that one.
Yeah, I think it's going to cripple all, to be fair. I'm
if
sure
the gear's nice, mind you, as much as I love Adidas, right? It's all I wear. This is Adidas original or white one. I love Adidas, but just because I love Adidas, right, doesn't mean if I go in there and the something looks shit, I'm not going to buy it.
I think you will.
Nah, I wouldn't.
A lot of Adidas stuff over the years. You think of all the when people look back at the training kits that people want to pick up, it's always the same 3 or 4 from like 95 to the brown ale ones, basically.
Yeah.
Like the other stuff, the Northern Rock stuff, that doesn't. They're not the ones going for like 400 quid on eBay or on Vinted or Depop, whatever. There's a couple that do
I don't want that best, you know. Honestly,
I don't want to walk in there
and
those
see
ones.
My drill top, the one I've got from the night. I don't want to see it. I want to see a more modernized new style with Adidas.
They're almost certainly going to be redoing some of the retro stuff, like so.
Absolutely, but that's not. Isn't why I'm going in the shop though. That's truthfully, I'm not one of them that'll go. I think I'll probably buy like, but I'm just saying. Like, that's not what I'm not excited for. That, like, I know loads of people I talk to, like, oh, mint, they're going to do all the brown ale stuff again. That's not what I'm getting to bed for. Like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
I want to see other stuff, you know?
Like a new era.
Like, if they bring out like the Mike Williamson range, that would be interesting. You know?
Willow range,
because Ian Wright's got one for us now, so they might do an ex-player for us.
Well, speaking of ex-players, we saw Jonas and Papi Cisse there at half time.
Yeah,
at the weekend.
Nice.
Couldn't understand the word either said. Like,
I think Cisse could have played.
So Cisse looked exactly the same as what he did 10 years ago. Exactly the same, right?
He looked great.
Everybody was shocked because I think everybody knew Jonas was going to be there, and even Justin Lockwood seemed shocked that there was 2 players there as well. Do you reckon Cisse just turned up at the door, just tapping on the door in the morning?
Because Jonas did the talking, didn't he, with James Perch and
Ryan Taylor?
Ryan Taylor, yeah.
Well, I was convinced it was going to be Perch.
So yeah, I thought maybe Ryan Taylor. Like,
well, I knew it wouldn't be him because he was doing the tour and the boxes and doing his weekend job.
That's what he does. At least, you know, that's
like
what he does every week now. Yeah, Tim and Bez, I do it.
It's nice to see ex-players like that get, you know, what's the word? What we're looking for? Get
work,
not like
treatment.
Get the continuation of kind of the relationship with the club.
Especially, I love them too.
Well, but this is something which Ryan mentioned on the podcast, which Bessie still hasn't listened to.
That's great.
That I said, are you a bit annoyed that you haven't had that invite back from the club?
Easy for you to say.
And obviously, there was a big fallout when Carver gave him the phone call.
And Jonas.
He passed the call over to Jonas, which is a true story. Yeah. He doesn't have any sort of anger towards Carver because it wasn't Carver the one that made that decision. No. It was just passed down to him from Luke Charnley at the time. But he was annoyed that, like, saying that you would love to come back to the club. Then obviously since the takeover, he's had that employment you can really class as by doing the rounds. Yeah. He does 2 things. So he does the day where he'll either go and sit on the host's table and have a conversation just on that table, or the other thing he'll do, he'll go around the boxes, so all the sponsors boxes, and just goes on all the corporate bits, and they'll ask him a few questions, a little bit of a Q&A sort of thing, 3-4 questions, and he just moves on to the next one. Does exactly the same around the mall.
Man of the match back in the day. Is that still a thing now? When I used to go in the boxes, it was like when Shearer got man of the match against Borough. I remember Shearer coming. I
think that's for the big wigs now. But I think there's always one player on that duty. I don't think it's necessarily man of the match. Right. I think it's just the player on duty.
Like Rota.
Yeah, so it could just be Longstaff 1 week, like Murphy. They'll just do it like Bessie sells for you.
So I was in the box for Tottenham last season. It was Rob Lee was doing the kind of the bit, the dinner and the shaky hands and Q&A and don't we hate something? That's great. We'll call it next time and do
that sort of thing. Yeah. The one thing Taylor is thankful for, though, is Dan Gosling's miss against Sunderland in that derby.
Aye.
Because if it hadn't been for that, Ryan Taylor's goal would have just been another goal.
Yeah.
That's obviously the winning goal. So he's buzzing with that. Do you have anything that you want to add before we... We'll say
Have you watched Eddie Howe's overlap?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just what's that?
So it was nothing that I haven't already seen. I didn't. I'm not saying I disliked it, but it was just very similar to the one which he done with Jake Humphries.
What? How you
the
mean?
high performance? It didn't give away any sort of insight into anything else.
I really enjoyed it. Like, to be fair, like, I thought it was good.
I just thought it was just copy and paste. Really, I thought a lot of it was.
I think that's Howe's thing, though, isn't it? I think he's so well kind of drilled.
Gets mentioned at the start, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. Neville kind of makes a point at the very start. When Neville says to him, like, I got told you have a hard time.
Tell you what, though,
I thought he came over a bit more human in this one.
He's absolute hench.
How?
Oh, he's been absolutely bashing the gym, like.
Top was too tight, like, I have to say.
He does like
he's got a chest on him there, like.
You like the small top, does our head?
I didn't think he looked good, like. If I'm being
honest, I just had the audio on. I haven't seen a video of it.
Oh, I thought he looked quite hench, like.
Did you?
Aye.
Few kebabs, I thought. But
heavy meal.
Like.
So he's saying every single morning he does a gym session, doesn't he?
Yeah. 6 in the morning.
So he gets to the training ground at 4 o'clock in the morning.
I thought it was good when he was on about the whiteboards around him.
15 tactics boards.
He moved them all.
And Neville had said, "Oh, like before we record, do you want a new set? I've already done that, man." Like, already thinking.
But I think that's when Chris says like you learn nothing new. I think that's one of those things that he's really good at, is that he gives nothing away. Like he'll have thought, right, what's safe to say, what's not safe to say, what's around is right, move it all around. Because I think it was Neville said, I've never seen that formation before, and he says that's because I'd be pissed about it. But how is it was not particularly insightful, but still interesting. I think like. Because the stuff like when he gets home and it's the first thing he does when he puts a game on is get the young'un to get a pen and bit of paper because he's seen something. Or
what he said about, like, Neville asked him a decent question about, like, do you prefer to buy a player who you feel you can nurture to get them to the best, rather than sign, I keep saying this, for his blue chip player, like someone that's already there. I thought that was a good, because I get, like, Gordon, for example, is one we might use as an example of ringing as well. And to be fair,
I think at times Neville was trying to lead him down, not necessarily down a path where he wanted the answer that Neville was hoping for, but he was just trying to get more.
He was trying his best. He was trying his best.
He was trying his best, and he was going, but Eddie wasn't giving much away. Like,
no, and it goes back to Neville's almost first line was, you didn't get much away, do you?
It was in the little the preamble type of the kind of cutting bit I do at the start, but I thought I was all right. I thought he does come across well. How I think he's quite a thoughtful, like, he's an intelligent bloke, obviously. A direct comparison with the bloke who preceded him as manager, who just didn't seem to want to improve at all.
Call me a liar.
I think it was nice that obviously that show has had 2 Newcastle elements on almost back to back.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
But I think the week before that they had a Sky Sports thing on Howe and Tyndall as well, where they had to guess the professional player, which was weird. That was a weird watch.
Gordon was on.
Gordon was excellent.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Which I quite enjoyed that. To be fair, it was weird, but I enjoyed it.
There's somebody else who said that, like, when they're talking about directors of football, and he says, "Do you ever give the street?" He says, "No, I don't tell them what my team is. It's not what to do with them. Like, I'll pick my team."
How it should be, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's how it should be. Anything else? Well done.
From what I could think of.
Thanks, everybody that has been watching live tonight. Almost 1,000 people watching this one. He's not got better things to do on your Monday night.
If there's 1,000 people watching, like the bloody video.
Yes, like the video.
Like the video.
Become a subscriber. We are well over 11,000 now. So thanks very much, everybody that has already subscribed. Costs you nothing to do that. Just one click of a button and you're there. Click the little notification bell as well, and you'll get video notifications for everything that goes live. The lads have already done their match preview for the game at Old Trafford, which is coming up. It is Scott, Daryl, and Joe that do that one. So go and check that. That's available on video and on audio download as well. Become a member. It costs just $2.99 a month, as little as $2.99 a month. You get early access to videos, you get more videos, and you do get access to the Telegram group. We will be putting news in the Telegram group as to a summer meetup as well. We're going to be arranging a day, and we're going to get a venue, and we'll just chill. Lads, you didn't know about that either. He's doing that. He's doing that.
We'll make it.
I'm going. But yeah, I'm sure we will have many familiar faces in there as well. We'll see you next time. Ta-ra.
All the best.
Ciao for now.